Miami Hurricanes taking on FSU tomorrow night, 7:30, ABC. It's a big switch up now from doing the from brunch with Bally's, which they've been doing for like the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, I look forward to Leroy's texts every weekend. What channel are the Canes playing on?
Yeah, it's the same way. If you can't find them, they're on Bally's. That's pretty much where it's been put out. But I mean, national TV.
Yeah.
Hopefully TVD is back and is feeling healthy. I mean, he took a hell of a hit a couple games ago, and I feel like if he did look like he was starting to get some things into form, but if he's not, your confidence in this team putting up points cannot be great. And they're, I think, touchdown underdogs right now at home to FSU.
Yeah,
which is unheard of.
It's pretty crazy, dude. It's pretty, like, I still think like the atmosphere's got to be good tomorrow because it is one of these things where it's like the event. Everybody, if you're going to go to a Canes game, this is the one you go to. It's at night, so I still think it'll be on fire there. But like, man, if it gets off to one of those slow starts, it could fizzle out pretty quickly.
I think the problem offensively is that they haven't had any consistent, like their skilled guys haven't played consistently. So was it Restrepo?
Yeah, he just came back.
He came back. He was on a minutes restriction or play restriction last week. Now he's full go. This kid Young, he's just come on, and so he's a welcome talent that you can see is going to be here for a minute. And I think you would like to have these players reveal themselves while having everybody else healthy, so you can work something out instead of having the guy out and then this guy out and then the quarterback out. You can't get any consistency so you can build on something because you're always designing game plans to accommodate the other guys coming in.
It's definitely been an issue this year. Yeah, for sure. Like you have to, with all the injuries that they have had, on top of what has seemed to be a real adjustment into, how their offense was executing things and switching things up in the middle of the year. And then you lose TVD in the middle of the year. They've definitely gone through a lot of adversity. And I do feel like if they can come out with this win, because, I think FSU, people were riding a lot higher on them earlier in the year, especially with the showing they had at LSU and, the weeks thereafter, but they've kind of come back to earth a little bit. Now that being said, they definitely, I think you would say they've looked better than Miami, but I don't feel like this is a juggernaut in front of them either.
What you're basically saying is I don't think Florida State is 7 points on the road better than Miami.
No.
That seems
but I also am not like, I mean, I just don't know how much faith you can have that these Canes can put up any kind of score.
Right. The final score could be 14-3.
Yeah. That's honestly what worries me more than anything. I think that, I think we've seen a defense that certainly is shown themselves to be definitely more capable as the season's gone on. But man, like it's been tough sledding trying to find points.
Yeah. And that's the hardest thing in any sport is, granted, I know it's going to sound ridiculous, but you can't win if you don't score points. But I'm just talking about the entry level points for a team. Like you would expect most college teams to be able to put up 20, right? You would expect most college teams to be able to put up, just in their same division or same conference or whatever, to be able to score a couple of touchdowns. And Miami struggled immensely at just getting the ball in the end zone. And that's not even counting like the lack of big plays, no chunk plays. You're asking a team that struggles scoring the ball to be methodical with the ball and move it down the field. And that just kind of adds to the difficulties that they have scoring.
I think also, like, look, if they are able to some way somehow pull this one out this week, I do feel like, you could start racking up some more feel good off of what has just been such a disappointing season so far. If you win your rivalry game in a building like that on prime time, I'm sure there's gonna be a ton of recruits there. I mean, Mario's, I think, gonna be a beast of a recruiter either way, but I think that would go a long way if you could do that in front of, a really packed environment with a lot of people fired up. I'm sure people are gonna be. Geez, I can't imagine how drunk people are gonna be.
Really, gates open at what, 4?
I don't know. You got all day to tailgate. It's going to be debauchery left and right. Are you going to that one, Marcos? Are you boots on the tailgate tomorrow night?
That's the one I got to go to.
That's circled, right?
Not only is it UMFSU, these are the 3 elements. UMFSU, always crazy. Night games, always crazy.
Always crazy.
Homecoming, always crazy.
Yep.
So I got to go.
You got to
go. They're doing their homecoming against FSU?
I think they are.
Wow, you don't normally do homecoming against rivalry because, homecoming is usually against, everybody can get some feel good against Powder Puff.
Right. Yeah, who do you usually do it against? You do it against Rutgers?
No, maybe against Middle
No,
Tennessee.
we didn't do it. Our homecoming was against Minnesota, Indiana. You will never do homecoming against Michigan State or Ohio State.
When you played Ohio State, you never lost to them, right?
I lost once.
You lost once? Were you guys both like they are now, like at the peak of their powers, or was there a time where you guys were up, down, or both down? So obviously not. But was there ever a time where the records were thrown, like one of those records, throw them out because this is just pride of the rivalry?
Well, yes and no. The records mattered. The first year we were number 1 in the country and we lost to Minnesota. And then here's the thing about it. Back then, like before the game was even played, we knew we were going to the Rose Bowl. So you have to muster up some other kind of motivation. The second year, neither one of us went to the Rose Bowl. It was Michigan State. And then my third and fourth years, we never lost a Big Ten game. So, but those games were really close. We played one game at the Horseshoe at Ohio State, and we were down 6 points with like a minute 30 to go, and we had a receiver, Mike Colasar, intangible but really fast.
Tangibles.
He took the kickoff after they took the lead, ran it to midfield, and then 3 plays later scored on a bomb. So it was, even though we were favored, I don't think there was ever a time when either team covered unless the underdog won, right? So I would say the second year, I think we might have been favored and they won. But other than that, all the games were pretty close going into the fourth quarter.
Guy says, hey, we're about to be so drunk in the West Orange lot tomorrow.
Wait a minute. These guys are already game planning drunkenness? That's not a good sign. Because here's what happens.
West Orange lot is crazy.
When you go into something.
The one with the stripper pole?
That is the one with the stripper pole. Yeah, indeed.
When you go into something claiming how lit you going to get, when you go somewhere and you're already talking about how lit you're going to get, that means that there's no turning back, right? That means you're going to be gun-ho by the time you get there, and you might not even make it to the game.
You might want to get yourself like an IV drip the day before just to put more fluids into your body to process all the alcohol that's going to be going on. Everybody be safe. Everybody be safe.
You got a bottle of Tito's and some Pedialyte.
It's tomorrow.
People looking forward.
This is one of these where like the people are looking forward to the party more than the game.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to a tailgate. I'm like, what's your final score prediction? And they're like, I don't even know who we're playing. Like, okay.
This week they're going to, though.
No, for sure. This
one they're going to. But like, is this like, what are you looking for tomorrow? Are you looking for an ice luge? Like what?
Well, I'm bringing water balloons and a couple water guns, and I'm starting a war. I'm starting a war tomorrow for sure.
Just shenanigans are going down.
Yeah. Allegedly, I'm doing that. Allegedly, I'm not sure if that's
Guy says if you're going to plan on tailgate before the tailgate, it's game over. Yeah, it's people are going to look.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the game starts at 7:30, right? So when you go to the grocery store that morning, it's gonna be filled with FSU and Canes people getting liquor way too early. Way too early. Buying up all the ice. Oh my goodness.
Indian Rasta says you're showing up tomorrow. You're showing up Monday with a black eye.
Yeah, probably.
Right.
It'll be worth it though.
He's sitting here. He's like the Dana White of tailgating. He's just trying to start conflict.
Yeah, I like it. It should be fun.
That.
Yeah, you know, just
That's
a little.
cool.
A little.
I mean, at least you'll have video footage for sure.
For sure,
For us to
chaos
see.
here, chaos there.
On a serious note,
Mhm.
this is going to be one of the biggest tests as far as stopping the run, because they average over 200 a game, and you don't really know how good the quarterback is because most of his stuff is off of play action because they run it so well, and if you get caught in that spin cycle, you got no chance.
Guy says, how many hard teas does it take to get tipsy? I don't know, but I did get a response from Solana.
Oh my goodness. You just made that up so you could read Solana's text.
No, I swear to God. I don't make up text. I'm not that guy. I text Solana, what would Leroy say if you admitted to drinking hard tea? And he goes, like a Mike's Hard Lemonade? Exactly. Quote, Solana isn't a man. He's a teenage girl.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It sounds about right.
I think we have a segment where we say things that Leroy would tell Solana and see which one's real, which one's not.
They can always play like a rivalry version of the Newlywed Game for just knowing how well they know each other from just roasting each other.